Elgato, a hub of fashion. Nice work, nice work. Maybe next time though, the gloves. If you want to be a boxer, you need to look like one too. Boxing gloves. Life of all kinds, finding friendship and working together to achieve their goals. Alright, now we have to win. I bet no one has ever pulled off a 2-in-1 fashion set before. This is some great supper time entertainment. Ladies, gentlemen, and fashionable hunters of all types, the time has come once again for me to share your fashion sets to the world. Monster Hunter is about two things above all else. Hunting monsters, of course, the obvious one, and looking goddamn great while you do it. After all, how could hunters reach thousands of hours of gameplay as they regularly do if they didn't have an absolutely spiffin' character to stare at the entire time? The simple answer is they wouldn't. In Sunbreak, the fashion game has reached entirely new levels, tons of vanity sets, and the unparalleled ability to customize your armor through pigments. This game has the greatest fashionability of any Monster Hunter game to date, and we can only hope future Monster Hunter games will continue this trend as well. As we all know, fashion matters most. If you want to submit your own set to give it a chance to be shared with everyone, make sure to send it on down to the link below. Make sure to include your name so you can be credited correctly, your armor set of course so we can see how it was made, the pigmentation and dyes done to it so we know exactly how much time you spent customizing it, and then ideally of course some good video footage of it, a solid 360-degree turn around your character to show off just all the nooks and crannies, maybe even some weird gestures or poses if you want to. And of course, the higher quality the footage that you send to us, the easier it is for us to show it to everyone else. If you want people to truly see and understand your fashion, the more you provide us with, the better. Without further ado then, let's jump into an honorable mention.
Give me crack corn, I don't care.
Commander Cobb by Caziel. My personal name for this is quite simply the Corn Knight, and clearly this is a set that is totally pulled together by the usage of the Corn Gun Lance. The straw hat fits the concept perfectly, the colors of the armor itself of course matching the corn, and somehow there's a sublime beauty to the Edel armor pieces, almost looking like the stalk of the corn, matching the long arced opening pieces, and color match to the green of course, and then the Seregios armor, somehow, in the presence of this gun lance, it starts to look more like corn kernels than pine cone scales, and anything that can make me think of Seregios as a corn dragon is top tier to me. This set is silly, and it's simple, and it is also amazing. I love it, and I couldn't bear the thought of not showing it to all of you once I saw it for myself. After that, we come to the cosplay of the week. This week we have an absolutely excellent entry named Red Saber by David Kingsley, and this is a representation of Nero Claudius from the Fate Grand Order series. I must say straight off, I'm not very well versed in this universe. I only know the media from passing comments from other people that I know, and yet all it took was one look at a picture of the inspiration character to know that this cosplay is absolutely killing it. The differences to the base character are minor and can easily be chalked up to this being done in Monster Hunter, obviously, but rather than that, I'd like to bask in the glory of how well that they've recreated some of the finer details, such as the shoulder pads, or even the underlaying golden armored thigh highs. Yes, that's what I'm going to be calling them, don't question me. I mean, even the gloves look just like the character's big, flashy, flowery gloves, but tucked in a little bit. You can easily see the same aesthetic falling out of them, and so it just looks like it's been slightly altered, but it's the same stuff. On top of that, though, the set itself just looks great outside of being a cosplay set. Red and gold is a classic color combination, but even without knowing the inspiration for the set itself, it just looks incredible as a Monster Hunter outfit anyways, and that easily makes it take the cake for me. Getting into the proper top 5 then, let's start with, well, the number 5. What? Where are you expecting to begin?
I'm blind.
This layered set called Spring Renewal unfortunately did not come with a name, but the person who sent it mentioned that they were a French fan, and so this one is going to be credited to French fan. Thank you. This one is just lovely. Of course, I maybe have a bit of bias towards pink based on my own character, but I love the way that this one plays off of itself. The pale red working lovely in with all of the low saturation pinks all around the place. Of course, this set is heavily anchored by 2 pieces of Mizutsune armor, but the 3 pieces that aren't Mizu come together to make this this a totally different kind of fashion than the standard Mizu armor. A pink shinobi set out to remind the world of the glory of the color pink. The way that the form of the waist flows into the legs, and the fact that the legs are actually dyed 2 different shades of pink in order to match different parts of the armor are part of why I enjoy this so much. It isn't just the pink set, it has various shades of pink, all intertwining and working off of each other, and it all plays together beautifully. Not to mention the 5-element helmet tying the whole thing up in a nice bow, completing the aesthetic and adding a bit of mystery, a bit of intrigue to the look as well. In 4th place we have Azure Idol by Apple Tart, and this one is a very low-key but beautiful combination of armor. It isn't a big shiny metal set or a mix of multiple monsters that lore-wise play off of each other. It is just a quaint and lovely mix of the more clothy armor types to create, well, the Azure Idol. I could totally see this character being a pop star in the Monster Hunter universe, creating all the hit songs played around Delgado, and once again, one of my favorite things in a fashion set is just creating the perfect seamless match of armor pigments to make the whole thing align with each other. The reds on the skirt are not something that you can change, they're there by default and they can't not be, but some of the other armor pieces are red dyed to match it. The gala gloves include arm sleeves from the chest piece to keep the bluey purple going all the way down the arms, and then the white to match all over is just lovely. Not to mention that this layered set is 5 pieces of armor from 5 different sets, which is something that just gives me a lot of personal satisfaction. I know it doesn't necessarily make the set look better to be that, but seeing that armor list and knowing that someone put together 5 different things just makes me happy. And of course they all work when used in this way together, even the Azure headgear for the unique hairstyle, and even the red ribbons neatly wrap it all up in a nice little box. In the 3rd slot today then we have
A cooperative little bunny.
the Great Water Bunny. This set didn't have a name, but it was sent in by a user named Spliss, S-P-L-I-S. This set is here to remind us all of one simple fact: bunny ears can be fashionable, especially when put into a lovely mix set meant to embody flowing water itself. And unfortunately, while the Ibushi bow itself is a dragon weapon, not a water weapon, it still perfectly fits both the color scheme and aesthetic of the set. On which note about the aesthetic, I absolutely adore mixing the off-white of the Mizutsune helm with the off-white of the Aurora Somnicanth legs. They look almost like they were meant to go together. And then of course the rest of it is just a couple of different shades of blue to make everything blend quite nicely together, along with using the Ibushi gloves dyed to match the golds of the Malzeno pieces to have it all just fit nicely in a wonderful way. This is one that looks great as well as fitting into the theme of flowing water excellently. Great usage of the armor pieces, and it does something that is often quite hard in playfully blending metal armor pieces with ones based around scales of monsters themselves. Oftentimes these are hard aesthetics to make work together within the same set, and yet when done well they make some of the most complete feeling fashion sets for a hunter in this universe, blending that beautiful mix of protective metal with the realism of using bits of monsters you've actually hunted to adorn yourself with. Also, it's just a cute little water bunny, and it's great. What's not to love? Our 2nd slot today comes something absolutely regal and gorgeous: the Curio Queen set from trainer Brendan, which looks almost like it is just meant to be a full set from the get-go, like it was something made by the developers themselves. Every piece melds perfectly from one to another, providing a look that is hard to believe is made from 5 different armor pieces from different sets. Again, my weakness is seeing that armor list and knowing how different each piece is, and yet seeing it all come together in such a coherent and lovely way. I personally love the high-rank Somnicanth waist, and I always have, but seeing it come through here, blending seamlessly with the Malzeno legs, and then even up to the Pyre Kadaki chest, is just awesome. The Pyre armor piece makes it look extra spiffy and high class, and then of course being topped with the high-rank ingot helm as a crown to just tie it all together. The Squire gloves in the middle don't feel out of place at all, and you can just see the care that went into this as far as color matching each piece went, matching the outfit as a whole to make one entire set. It looks incredible, and it matches the concept of being the queen of the curios quite well too, matching with their color scheme. It isn't done here in order to not mess with the visuals on screen, but I can totally imagine this set used with the dereliction skill on top of it to have curios floating around you, so it just looks like they're straight up your minions doing your bidding. With most layered sets, it looks like that skill is just them pestering you like mosquitoes, but with this one, they clearly are loyal to you, the Curio Queen. And then finally today in the number 1 slot, though as usual the numbers are more symbolic than anything, every single set that I show here is an absolute top tier fashionable look in my eyes, but today's number 1 is called the Statobiologist by Doc Melior. This one combines 5 different armor pieces once again, though you wouldn't know that without looking at it particularly closely, and it even comes with a bit of a background. This is a specific character idea and design based around a researcher who specifically spends their time investigating espinasse to understand the concepts behind their multi-status nature. What I love about this is that they even mix the Pookie arms into this, which is another poison monster. So aside from looking great as a combination, it even feeds into the backstory that this character researches statuses to understand them to the best of their abilities. Of course, with the addition of the gas mask from the diver set to give the look of being immune to poison itself. The glowing green eyes are a great touch that really pulls it all together in my mind as well, and makes this just look like a main character in a whole alternate universe Monster Hunter story about investigating poisonous monsters rather than just going out there to hunt all of them one at a time. Even the color matching from the pigments is pretty impressive, using 6 different colors in total to make each piece fit its required slot, and I just love the way it looks as a whole, all coming together so beautifully. Nothing looks out of place, and you can tell that achieving that took quite a lot of careful planning and playing around with the sliders to accomplish. And there you have it, this week's most fashionable sets as chosen by me, from Layered Armor submitted by you. If you want your set to be shown to the world, once again check out the link down below and make sure to provide as much material as possible so we can truly do it justice if it is chosen. And thank you all who have submitted so far. It's been an absolute treat going through your submissions and seeing all of these incredibly creative combinations of armor that I've just never thought of pairing together myself. Like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.